What's going on, guys? It is the SMT. Welcome back to the channel. In today's video, I want to take a look at a little bit of a prediction type of scenario. What I want to do is I want to do a top 5 reasons. 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 reasons why Dish will actually fail as a wireless network provider. So I'm actually really excited to make this video. I know a lot of people are probably going to have a lot of opinions. A lot of you will probably disagree, but I mean, this is kind of an opinion piece. But anyways, let's go ahead and get into the contents of the video. And just as a forewarning, I can't say that these are actually in order of importance or magnitude or whatever. They're just the 5 reasons that I could think of. So just wanted to say that. Reason number 1, Dish does not have the necessary experience to win in such a vicious and cutthroat business. Talking about wireless here. The reason I say this, I want you guys to think back to what exactly happened in the history of T-Mobile. They are a relatively young company, network-wise. They purchased VoiceStream back in 2000. They had a merger with Metro PCS 2011-12, actually like a merger. And then, you think about how their ultra-aggressive, uncarrier, promotional, whatever, their push, kind of, this customer service and pricing and value, they had to do so much to compete in such a vicious and difficult market. Really, what John Legere was able to do as the marketing and mascot representation of the company has really never been done before. It's almost astonishing to see what T-Mobile has done over the course of the last decade. And then don't forget that their profits have been shrinking for several quarters and a few years. So while they have been growing in terms of subscriber count and their market share has steadily increased, their profits have not. So they're operating on less and less profits from quarter to quarter. So really the T-Mobile experience has been without precedence. We haven't really seen this type of spring onto the scenes from any type of carrier. So what are the chances that Dish is going to be able to do that? Number 2, the next reason why I think Dish is going to fail as a wireless national wireless carrier is Dish is most likely looking to sell. And probably sooner rather than later. A couple of things to consider here. You've got a 3-year Deutsche Telekom no sale, no partnership embargo that they've put into the works. After that, it's fair game and Dish could obviously sell. Dish is probably thinking to themselves, why invest all the billions of dollars that it requires to actually have a national network? I mean, to make it worth it and to get customers on there and really enjoy the service and be impressed by it, it's going to take a big investment. And of course, that investment is money, and that's money that Dish doesn't really have. And in my personal opinion, the most likely scenario is even if Dish doesn't get a buyer right away, they will eventually get it sold. I think they'll run it for a few years, try to make it, work for the time being, but eventually, ultimately, they're going to get out and they're going to want to get it sold. In that case, you're going to have a different buyer. Could be Verizon. I mean, that's legitimate. Charter, Comcast, Amazon, Google. We could speculate and throw names around all day long, but of course that is a legitimate concern. Reason number 3, and the reason why I wanted to present this is because this is a real issue that T-Mobile faced for a long time and Sprint is currently facing. They're going to have a small market share. They're not going to have a lot of subscribers. What we do know right now is that Dish is going to have the prepaid side from Sprint, which is Boost. That turned out to be 9 million subscribers. We can't really say exactly how many postpaid customers Dish is going to have, or if they do any. We really don't know at this point, so pure speculation. The rest of the carriers, you've got Verizon and AT&T around 150 million each. The new T-Mobile is going to have somewhere in the neighborhood of 130 million. Dish might take a little bit from each, but how much could we really say they will actually have, and for how long will they be struggling to get a bigger market share? Which leads to the next issue is how long could Dish endure having such a small market share? It's hard to deal with wireless, especially in the early onset. There's going to be a lot of growing pains. Network, subscriber number, it's going to be tough. Reason number 4 is their CEO and chair, Charlie Ergen. He is not really the type of person that appears to be committed long-term to this endeavor. And to be more specific, when people describe Charlie Ergen, they use words that aren't very flattering because of the business side. They say he's indecisive. They say he's always looking for options, never really committing to anything full force. And he's been known as being a spectrum hoarder, doing nothing with it for, several years, maybe even up to a decade. and he's very difficult and shrewd when it comes to business operations and business practices. Now remember, I did say that all the reasons that I put in here were not necessarily in order, but this one could be the most important one. Reason number 5 is cash. Dish does not currently have the capital to actually build out the network sufficiently. As it stands, they've got that 3-year embargo. They can't get another partner or buyer involved. They are paying for the Boost side, right? And they're paying for some assets from the merger for a total of $5 billion. We're not even sure if they can afford to pay that right off the bat. We know that they're going to have to pay it eventually, at least part of it, and most of it within the 3 years. So obviously that's a real concern. And then from the spectrum side, they do have some low frequency spectrum from the merger. They own a lot of mid-band, which is good for them, but they don't really have much else. And of course, they're going to need more if they're actually going to grow in the business. More subscribers needs more network deployment, needs more investment and improvement over time. And when thinking about the track record of Dish and where they stand, the satellite business is struggling, to say the least. Some may argue that it's even failing. So what is the precedence for what we expect from Dish? I think I've kind of given you guys my stance. I'd like to know what you guys think of these different reasons that I gave. Whether or not you have other reasons, whether you disagree or agree with mine, go ahead and drop me a line in the comment section. Let me know what you think of today's topic and my list. I want to go ahead and take this time to give a big shout out to the Discord community and also a big shout out to the patrons over on the Sneed Mobile Tech Patreon page. I'll put links in the description box below if you guys would like to get involved with those communities. And if you would like to support production here on the SMT YouTube channel, go ahead and check out the PayPal link in the description box below where you can give a small or occasional monetary donation to support production here on the channel. Many thanks in advance for those considerations. So go ahead and like this video and share the video if you want to help this channel out. And of course, make sure that you are subscribed. And if you haven't done so already, go ahead and hit that notification bell so you are notified whenever a new upload is released from the SMT. Thank you all for taking the time to watch the video. I am the SMT, and I will see you guys on the next video. Peace.